have a black belt in karate or judo, but I do have a black belt in nanoblock building. And the next kit is a Kung Fu Pokemon! Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my latest Pokemon Nanoblock Unbox and build, and this week we are doing Kubfu, the karate Pokemon, and a Pokemon that is only exclusive as a DLC Pokemon from Sword and Shield on the Nintendo Switch. And it belongs in the, I believe it was the Isle of Armor of DLC that starts in. And then later on in the DLC pack, you can evolve Kubfu into either two styles, and if I remember correctly, I went with the dark style Kubfu. Let me know down in the comments if you've ever caught this Pokemon. What style of evolution did you go for? Did you go the water path, or did you go the dark path? So that's me in a nutshell. Let's get down to business. So let's see how many bags we have got. And it looks like, well, it looks like an easy build, but anyone can trip, including myself. It has happened in the past. So we have got 4 bags with grays and whites, and of course some blacks. So I'm going to get started and sort out all the pieces for Kubfu. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Before I begin, guys, I just want to point out that I am also active on the community tab here on the YouTube channel. I do all sorts of things, from posting pictures to my latest projects, as well as polls which will affect the Twitch and YouTube channel. So please do spend a couple of minutes checking out all my community posts, and of course, enjoy the video. All the pieces for Kubfu are now sorted, and we are almost ready to build. I just have to show you guys what I have got for this build. So, starting off with the grey 1x1s, we have 12 of those. We also have 8 1x2s, 7 1x3s, and 15 1x4s, so there will be a lot of greys to work on in this build. Moving on to the 2x2s next, we've got 13 of those, 15 2x3s, and 7 2x4s. Then we've got some odd-shaped greys as well. We've got 12 T's and 12 L's. Now, the next one we have some light greys, and best tip that I can give you guys is before you do the before you do the assembly, make sure that you do find out which pieces are different shades of grey, because even in normal light, it can be a bit tricky. So try to make sure that you sort out your bricks in underneath a good, strong source of light. Sunlight might be a good idea, but in my case, I've got my LED spotlights. If you haven't already seen that video, check out the link over here to see my 200-pound new studio, well, little studio setup build. So I've got 2 light grey 1x1s here. And we've got 8 white 1x1s, and 9 white 1x2s, and 3 1x3s, we've got 9 of those, and 3 1x4s. Carrying on with the whites, we've got 6 L's, and 6 2x3s right here. Then we've got some cream bricks on the build today. We've got 2 cream 2x2s and 1x2s right here. Then, finally, we're on to the blacks. We have got 2 1x1s, 7 1x2s, a 1x3, 2 2x3s, and 4 L's, 4 black L's right there. So that's all the pieces that we're going to need for this build. I'm now going to get to work on step 1 of the build, where it looks like we're starting off with Kubfu's head. Step 1 of the Kubfu build is now complete, and it is a 2-layer part, this part. So let me explain what I had to do first and foremost on the first layer, right here. I began with the cream 2x3 right here, and then had 2 grey tees, both with the odd pegs facing the south, and of course on both sides of the 2x3, which is in a vertical position. Then behind each of the T's is a grey L. The one on the left, right here, the gap is facing the northwest, and this one is facing northeast. Then in between each those two L's is a 2x3 on the right, and then a 1x3 on the right, kind of like a 3x3 altogether. Then on the layer on top, I began here with another cream 2x3 to help with Kubfu's mouth, and then 2 more grey T's so that they're all connected together. Then at the back there is a grey 2x3 right here, followed by a 2x2. So that's it for step 1 of the build. I'm now going to get to work on step 2, where we're going to add some of the I don't know what to call it for Kubfu. Is it fur? Is it hair? I don't know. But anyway, we're adding some of that onto the model next. See you guys in a second. Step 2 of the build is now over and done with, and it's just a few little additions to step 1. Nothing big or special or instabilities happening right now. On both ends, on the left and the right, I began with a grey 1x3 here, and then I moved on to a 1x4 on both sides. Then right here at the back is another 1x4, and then a 1x3 here to keep it all together. Then right here is a 1x3 followed by a 1x2. Now these bricks are keeping everything on the first layer from step 1 together, so it is a little more structurally stable, but hopefully in step 3 of the build we can get some more work done to make sure that it is nice and steady. Step 3 of the build is finally, well, it's nice and, well, Step 3 of the build is over and done with, and as you can see, we've got the nose down for Kubfu, the black 1x2 right here, over the cream 2x3 in the middle. That's the best foundation brick for this step of the build. Then I went to both left and right here at the back with 2 grey 2x2s, one here and then one here. Then I grabbed a grey 2x4, one here and then one here to connect everything together. I also went back to the front and placed 2 cream 1x1s here and here on both sides of the black 1x2 to create the nose for Kubfu. Then at the back, I grabbed a grey 2x2 right here and a 2x3 to help keep everything together. Then on both, then I just went on to the tiny little details. I grabbed 4 grey 1x1s, one here, 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 and here. That is it for step 3. Just a quick note, I did notice that it is a little loose here at the front, but hopefully with step 4, it will be a little more structurally stable, so please do bear with me for the time being, guys. Step 4 of the build is now completed, and we've got some eyes, and I'm not sure if the model is a little loose. No, it is a little bit stable now, which is good. Hopefully with the later steps, it will be even a little stronger than than the previous steps. So I began with the grey 2x3 in a vertical position right here, over half of the black 1x2 that we did in step 3. And then I grabbed 2 more black 1x2s to create, I believe, the eyes of Kubfu. Then I grabbed 2 grey L's. This is going to be something of a mirror build step, guys. One has the gap facing southeast. This one is facing southwest. And then I grabbed a grey 1x2 and then placed it in the vertical position, aligned with the, not with the gap for the grey L, but on the top side. And then behind it is a 1x4, also in a vertical position. Then I grabbed 2 T's. The T on the left has its odd peg facing the west, and this one is facing the east. And then to help connect everything, I placed a grey 2x3, kind of in the middle of the T's, and of course on the bottom side of it as well. So just make sure that there is at least a 1x3 gap right here in the middle of the head. Then I went to the back and placed a white L on both both top sides of the T's. This one has a gap facing west, and this one is southeast. And then I grabbed a gray 1x1 right here for the back of Kubfu's head. So that is it for step 4. For step 5, I should, well, it's going to be more of Kubfu's head. So hopefully we're going to add some more details to that, to Kubfu's martial arts skull. Step 5 is now completed, and hopefully you can see right here on the screen, we've got the light grays, 1x1s here. And I'll explain what I did with them in a minute. I began with the white 1x2 right in the middle, right here, and it is at least one peg away, well, heading towards where the nose is for Kubfu, so it should be positioned right here. Then I grabbed 2 more black 1x2s and place it right next to each one. And then on the ends over the black 1x2s from step 4, at the front, it's light grey 1x1s. Then I went backwards and I started in the middle. I did a grey 1x4, a normal grey 1x4 right here in a horizontal position, aligned with the white 1x2s here. Then on both the left hand side and the right hand side, at least one row away from each of the from the 1x4s, there is 2 grey 2x4s, one here and one here. Then I had to grab 2 grey L's. This one has the gap facing southwest, and this one is southeast, so that it connects the whiskers or the fur, I believe it is the fur, from step 4 together. Then at the back is a white 1x3 right here, connecting the middle grey and the 2x4 here. And then a white 1x2 right here, so that kind of forms a white 1x5. And then on the back right here is a white 1x1 here and here. This one is in the very middle of the white 1x3. And this one is on the right hand side of the 1x2. Just remember that for when you do your build. So that is it for step 5 of the build. I'm now going to get to work on step 6, where I'm working on more of the fur for Kubfu's head. Step 6 is now completed, and it was a little bit tricky to, well, first, but I did get a pattern to building this step, so let me share what I did first. I began with the grey T right here on this brick right here, and I made sure that it's covering the white 1x2 from the earlier step. Then I grabbed the black L's and placed this one here with the gap facing the southeast, and this one facing southwest. Now, at the front, this would normally be a good idea for a foundation brick, but I found that the grey T was a lot easier because you'd have a lot more structural stability if you went with the T first and then the black L's, because if you tried putting the white 1x3 on here at the first, then chances are you would most likely get the 1x2s from the previous step come off the build, and that would take a bit of time off your hands. So I started off with the T first and then the black L's, then I went and placed a white 1x3 right here at the front. Then I grabbed 2 white L's. This one has the gap facing the southwest, and this one is southeast. And of course, the gap side of each of the L's should be aligned with the long side of the black L's right here. Then I grabbed a grey 2x4 and placed it on the right hand side in the vertical position, and also in a vertical position is a 2x3 to make it look like it is a 2x7. Then right here at the back, I started off with a white 2x3, also in a vertical position, to kind of link together the 2x3 and the 2x4 at the front here together. Then on both sides is 2 more white L's, where it's southwest here and southeast here. So that is it for step 6 of the build. I'm now going to move on to step 7, where we're carrying on, working on more of the top of Kubfu's head. Step 7 of the build is now done, and we have done a lot more of the white for Kubfu's head. I began with the white 1x3 right here in a vertical position, just to make sure that it's connected with the 1x2 and the 1x3 right here. Then another white 1x2 so that it's linked from the bottom to the middle here. And then I went back and placed 2 white 2x3s on both sides, of course trying to make sure that it's at least one row of pegs to the left here and one to the right, so that it kind of looks like there's a nice little square 1x1 gap here. Then I grabbed a grey T and made sure that the odd peg is facing the south, and of course the gaps are filled by the 2x3s that we did earlier. Then I grabbed 2 white 2x3s, one here to the left and one here to the right, at least hovering over the parts of the long side of the grey T's that we did. And in the very middle of the grey T is a white 1x3 right here. Then we've got 2 more grey T's, one on the left and one on the right. The left is obviously having its odd peg facing west, and the one on the right is facing east. So that is it for step 7 of the build. It's time for me to get to work on step 8 and carrying on with more of Kubfu's head. Step 8 of the build is now completed, and it's a lot of 1x4s and 3s here in this step. I began here at the front with the white 2x3, and then I grabbed 2 white 1x1s on the top layer and placed it right next to the 2x3. One here, and then one here. And then behind those bricks is a white 1x4, one here and one here. And you gotta make sure that at least on the left-hand side, the right half of the 1x4 is covered by the 1x1 and the 2x3. And on the right-hand side, the same again with the left. Then moving backwards, I grabbed a grey 1x4 right here, and 3 of the pegs are in line with 3 of the white pegs right here. And then on the left, to the left of that, is a grey 1x3 right here. Then I went and grabbed a grey T and made sure that the odd peg is facing the north. And then placed 4 grey 1x4s in a horizontal vertical position. 2 here on the long side of the T, and then 2 here with the gaps of the T right like that. So that is it for step 8. I'm now going to move on to step 9, where we're going to be working on more of the finer details of Kubfu's head. Step 9 of the build is now over and done with, and we have completed more of the finer details for Kubfu's head. I began with the white 1x2 right here on the right hand side, and then on the placed it in a vertical alignment. Then to the right of it, I placed a white 2x4 here to make sure that it's got a long look to it. Then I grabbed a grey 2x4 and then placed it in a horizontal position, making sure that it was over half of the white 1x2 and at the very left hand side of the 1x4 right here. And then to the next, and to the right of that grey 2x4 is a grey 1x4 right here, so it kind of looks like a grey 3x4 in a sense. Then right here, on the second row of the grey 2x4 to the left is a 1x4 right here. Then for the ears, we've got 2 grey L's. This one has the gap facing northwest, and this one is facing northeast. And then to the left, at the right of the L right here, is on the back, is a grey 1x1, and same again here on the left. So that kind of looks like some of those tetraminos. That's the best way to describe it. Now we'll move on to step 10. We'll do this step on camera, which is the best part about my unbox and build videos. I'm beginning with a white 1x2 right here, and then a 1x3 on the right hand side of the 1x4 that we did earlier. Then a grey 1x4 right here, and then the 1x2 here. Then for step 11, we just need a grey 1x2, right in the middle of, well, to the right hand side of that 1x2 that we did earlier. And then a white 1x1 here. That's it for step 11. And then for step 12, we just go to the back of the 1x2 that we did earlier. And that is it. Perfect. So that is the end of step 12. I'm now going to get to work on step 13, and whilst I get to work with that, I have this lovely little message to share with you about my YouTube and Twitch pages. Do you like what you see on the screen? The link to the video will be down in the description below, so you can check it out for yourself. But for now, we're going back to the build. And don't forget, guys, you can always catch me on Twitch or Facebook Gaming on... And don't forget, guys, you can always catch me on Twitch or on Facebook Gaming... No. And don't forget, guys, you can always catch me on Twitch or on my Facebook page at 8 PM London time for my live stream gaming sessions of Pokemon or WrestleQuest, depending on where I am on each game. Just keep in mind that I will be streaming at random times of, well, random days of the week because of my work schedule. So please do join me if you can for those streams. I will always leave my schedule on the first Monday of every week. So do check out the community section of the YouTube page whenever you get the chance. So let's move on to step 13 of the build, which is the meat of the matter of this YouTube video. It is, we're doing the backside, well, the ribbons, I believe it's the ribbons of Kubfu. So I began with the white 1x3, you gotta do this twice, and then place a white 1x1 in the middle of each of those 1x3s. Now the best way to figure out which, where the middle of each 1x3 is you can grab another brick, it doesn't matter which color it is, and then put it on either the left end or the right end of the 1x3 on the bottom, so you know where the exact middle is, and then place the white 1x1 right there next to the loose brick, and then take off that odd brick that you don't need. And then on top of the white 1x3, it doesn't matter which side you do it, because it's going to be the same no matter what. You place a white 1x2 on top of the 1x3, and then another 1x3 over the 1x2. So it should look like this. If I can just bring it up to the camera. You gotta do this at least twice, and then place them over, well, underneath the main head of Kubfu. And once I fix this, yep, all good. Perfect. There we go. And I believe that is Kubfu's bandana done. So the head is now completed. I'm now going to have to put this on the side as I get to work on step 14, which will be the main torso for Kubfu. Okay, so step 14 of the build is now over and done with, and it's really easy. It's just let's start from the middle here. We've got a grey 2x3 in a vertical position, and then on the right is a grey 2x2. Then on the right hand side of the 2x3, at the back, right here, is a little black 1x1. And then on both ends of the grey bricks that we started off with are two black 2x3s, where one row of pegs of the black 2x3 are away from the grey bricks that we placed at the beginning. So, really easy step for step 14. Hopefully on step 15 we will get to see a little bit more structural integrity for Kubfu's body. So I'm going to get to work on step 15. Okay, so step 15 is done, and it is looking a little better, but I do have my doubts about the integrity of this step. So I began with two grey 2x3s, both in a vertical position. The They are over the black 2x3s that we did in the first step, and of course over the grey bricks from that layer as well. Then I grabbed a grey 2x3 and made sure that it was 3 pegs, row of pegs away, heading to the outside. And of course making sure that it is in line with these grey 1x2s. Then right in behind that 2x3 is a black 1x3 in a horizontal position in the middle, and 2 black 1x2s, one here and one here. And of course the black 1x3 is directly over the black 1x1 from step 14. And that is it. Hopefully in step 16 the body will be a little bit more stronger and structurally stable. So I'm going to get to work on that now. Step 16 is now quickly done, and it is a little more stable. So I began with the grey 2x3s in a horizontal position on the left and the right hand side of Kubfu's arms. Then another grey 2x3 in a vertical position to link everything on the back here together. And it has helped a little bit with the structural instability, but it is a little funny right here at the bottom. But hopefully later on in the build it can be fixed. Then at the front of the 2x3 right here is another grey 1x3, and then a nice little black 1x1 for the tail for Kubfu. So that is it for step 16. I'm now going to get to work on step 17, where it looks like we're going to be building up more of Kubfu's upper body. Step 17 of the build is now completed, and it's a fairly easy step. Kind of a mirror build here. So on both sides is a grey 2x2 at the front of the arms, then a grey 1x4 on the back to connect the arms to the chest itself. Then at the front right here is a grey 2x3 in a vertical position, followed by a grey 1x1 right here to connect everything. So that is it for step 17. I'm actually going to do step 18 here on camera because it looks like it's another easy step. So I'm going to begin with the grey 2x4, position it here, and then a 2x3 here. Place a white 1x1 in the middle of the chest, and then 2 grey 1x1s on both sides of the white 1x1 here and here. Oh, if I could just, there it is. Let me. There we go. And that is it. That's what Kubfu's chest should look like now. That's step 18 over and done with. So now I can get to work on step 19 and work on more on the chest of Kubfu. Step 19 is now completed, and we're about to do step 20 on camera, like we normally when we do attaching the head to the body. But first, let me explain what I had to do first and foremost. So I started off with 2 white 1x2s in horizontal positions right here at the front to kind of create a checkered pattern on the chest of Kubfu. Then to fill in the gap between those white 1x2s is a grey 1x2 right here at the front. Then I had to grab 2 grey L's for the shoulders of Kubfu. This one has the gap facing southeast, and this one is facing southwest. And then a grey T where the odd peg is facing south and in between the grey L's. And that's it for step 19. For step 20, we're now going to attach the head onto the chest. And it's easy. It's just positioned like that. Nice. And I think I might have gone a row back too far. Let me just fix that real quickly. I mean for that. Yeah, so I thought, yeah, I believe it is. There we go. Yeah, we're supposed to be on the back of the cream 2x3 that we started with the build on. But anyway, It is now fixed, and Kubfu now has his head on his body with his arms. And he just has to get his feet where he can start kicking opposing Pokemon with. So, I now need to get to work on step 21. And it looks like it is a 2-part process, so I'll show you each part in a minute. Okay, so we are done with part 1 of step 21, and it's really easy. Each one requires a black and a grey L, and they have to kind of resemble a 2x3 in a horizontal position. For the one on the right, the black L should have the gap facing the northeast, and the grey should be facing the southwest, and then on the one on the this side here, the gap should be facing the northwest, and this one on the grey is southeast. And then over the grey L's, and of course covering the odd peg of the the black L's, is a grey 2x2, like that. And then for part 2 of each of the feet, you have to grab a grey 2x2 each, and then put another one on top, halfway to either to the left or to the right, and then assemble the feet like so. So it should look like this. This for the left leg, this for the right. And then place each one, the one on the right here, and the one on the left here. And there we go. Kubfu, the Kung Fu Pokemon, ready for some Kung Fu action. And I hope you found this build very useful, guys. And I do hope that you can join me for in 2 weeks' time when we are going to be building nothing. That's right, because I'm all out of Nanoblock sets for the time being, guys. But hopefully I will have more after my trip to Japan at the end of Christmas 2023. So I do hope that you can subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to get notified on when the Nanoblock builds do come back to the channel. So I'm going to say happy gaming, guys, Merry Christmas, and I hope you can join me for the next build in 2024. So, happy gaming, guys, and I hope you found all the Nanoblock videos I've done very useful and helpful. Bye for now!